Yo, what's up, Tiny Bolts? Good to see you. Thanks for your comment earlier. Haven't responded yet. Yeah, go ahead and request a song. If I know it, I will try and play it for you. All right. Ordinary Man, Ozzy Osbourne. I actually do not know that song. I'm so sorry. I know how to make harmonics. Yeah, so you just press 7th, 5th, and 9th, or if you just hover above those frets. You can get artificial harmonics by doing something like this. Find 12 frets above your desired note. If that was a satisfactory answer, please like the stream. Have you checked out the Danny Zeitlin album yet? Yes, I did. I forget the name of the song. That's the guy he was a psychologist too. That was super cool. Sorry, Timon. I'm more of a jazz guy, but I really appreciate you suggesting something. I really appreciate that. I'm a little jazzer. Be kind to me. Any jazzy Mac Miller sounds? I have my chorus pedal across the room. I can play you like a 251, but maybe after I work on these ones. But that's a good suggestion. How about some Joe Pass? Okay, I got you. I got you with some Joe Pass. Fine. Everybody's giving me a request. So I know. All right, if you like this, if this is a satisfactory thing, yeah, you can just play whatever. I'm loving the sounds. Thanks you, Timon. Thank you. If you like this, if this is satisfactory, please like the stream. Thank you so much. I'm gonna play Darn That Dream. I learned this because of the A La Salle Playa, live at A La Salle Playa, with Oscar Peterson and Joe Pass, and he plays it solo on that record. It's really great. I recommend you check it out. I actually don't know Scar Tissue, sorry. I heard Crow by Jin San Kim? I have not. Could you maybe play something gypsy? I'll have to think about it while I keep playing this. How about some Pat Metheny after this? Anthony, I just played this for you. Did you at least like the stream for this request? Ah. Alright, Anthony. Pat Metheny is good. What is the most random tune you know how to play? It could be a tune from a commercial or a random sound we might know. I'd have to think about that. Okay, well I can stop that one there because I'm getting some questions. Let's see. How about Pat Metheny as this? I'd have to think about Pat Metheny. I think I know something, but it would take me a second. What's the most random tune you know how to play? I mean, there's a bunch of random stuff. I mean, I don't know. That's pretty random. I gotta finish up my tune, guys. I can't just leave things unfinished. Sorry. Guitars is this is a 1966 Fender Telecaster, all original. Vintage guitars don't always sound that good, I will say. But this one is particularly particularly special. Sorry about that. I play guitar better than I speak. dream guitars is a Telecaster thin line, all spalted maple. Hey man, that sounds like a good guitar to me. Although I don't really like maple necks as much. Darn That Dream, written by Jimmy Van Heusen. Well, definitely one of my favorite tunes. Pretty hard to play. I feel like it's the tune that keeps on giving, you know. It's one of those that just, it's difficult, but it always has something new to offer. So if anybody has any questions, or if you haven't liked the stream yet and you are enjoying this, please like it. I am pleased to be here with you, and hopefully you are pleased to be here with me. I think I'm going to move on to playing some other stuff. I don't think I know any Pat Metheny well enough to play solo guitar, man. But I will work on that for you because that's a great request. Do I know Nuages? I mean, I don't. At one point I did, many years ago. Something like that. You guys are mean. This is hard. Does that satisfy you for Nuages? It's kind of like that, right? I don't know the bridge, but it's similar, right? It's similar. I don't know. I was kind of feeling like playing a folk song. I feel like I've been playing a lot recently. Let me know what you guys think about this in the chat. But I have been playing a lot recently, and I feel that the more I play, the worse I get. And this is backed up not by science or anything, more of just a feeling. But I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I take long breaks away from playing the guitar. That's Nuages a la Lance. Yeah, thanks, because I can't play it, is what you're trying to say. I take long breaks from playing the guitar, and it's just a way of keeping it fresh, because when you play guitar too much, it really just becomes too much of licks, it becomes too much of what you're used to. And so recently I've been very much focused on, not playing as much. And I came back to playing for like 12 hours on Monday. And then I had the session on Tuesday, which you guys will see on the channel if you're a loyal subscriber. We're going to have all those out. But I genuinely feel like I played way worse than I did when I was not practicing. And I don't know why that is. It's totally random. But I think it's something to do with the familiarity and instead of just actually having to listen to what I play. No, not what I meant. Sorry. No, it's okay. I'm just giving you a hard time, Tiny Bolt. I'm just giving you a hard time. Does that make any sense? Did I just say something intelligible? I feel like when you play a lot, you start learning a lot you start leaning a lot on muscle memory patterns that you get into in less hearing. 100% tiny bolts. There you go. That is what I'm talking about. And it's hard to break out of because like once you start playing a lot, you're like, my hands are moving faster. Like I can do all this crazy stuff, but it's not really worth it. I definitely had some state-dependent learning issues when I play. Anthony, you should expand on that. I'm very curious what you mean. It's true. I've been leaning on my hands. Like I can do too much with my hands. I once knew this bass player who said he regretted learning to play with two fingers. You know, like with the pick hand. He said he regretted it because now he plays too fast. He said I wish I just would have stuck with one finger. That's the only thing that was. I don't know. There's something about it. I know guys who intentionally set up their guitars in a difficult fashion so that they play less. You know, it's a, I don't know, man. It's a never-ending battle. Brushy one string to go. For example, let's say you learned a lick whilst being drunk. Then a week later, try to play it sober and you can't seem to nail it. I don't drink that much, man, so I don't have that experience. But that is pretty funny. I could definitely see that being the case. It's a real neurological thing you can look up sometimes. You can only recall things like guitar playing. That's crazy. See, that's my muscle memory. I hated that. That was so awful. Like, why did I play that? Can you do something Holdsworthian? No. I don't listen to enough Holdsworth. You guys are embarrassing me. I just play the way I play. I can't sound like anybody else. You know, that's your lesson for the day. If you can imitate, cool. That's good for learning. But at a certain point, you should never be able to even try to sound like anybody else. Ooh, how about that? That's my hot take of the day. I play like Lance, unfortunately. This is the Lance channel. question here from Anthony. How much of your playing did you self-teach, and how much was taught to you in school or with a tutor? So I was really lucky. I had music in school since middle school. I started with playing clarinet, and that taught me how to read music. But I think I've always had just music around, and so in some fashion I've always taught myself something. But I always did have a guitar teacher or just someone who was playing music to talk to about it. I think it's a combination because I'm not self-taught. I've taught myself some stuff, but I'm not self-taught. Does that make sense? So it's like I would learn some stuff from YouTube, or a lot from YouTube. I would just practice a lot, and then I would also play with people and get a lesson as much as I could. Or if there was a musician I admired, I would send them an email and try and get a lesson with them. So I would say it's 50-50. I would credit that much to other people because that's how much it means to play music with other people. But I also think that I did a lot of this work myself, so it's both. I would say. Does that answer your question? If there's anything specific you want to talk about, or even in more depth, it'd probably be easier to answer that question like that. Who did I end up being taught by that I mailed? Bruce Foreman was a big one. And just some local players from where I grew up. Yeah, I was lucky I grew up in a musical town. You are lucky. What's my favorite chord? Anthony with the great questions. My favorite chord is a G suspended because I love Jesus. That's my favorite chord. Actually, I'm going to play it up here. I hope that was a sufficient answer. That's a song by the Bee Gees. How Deep Is Your Love? Very beautiful song. Very beautiful song. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me. I might just be playing some more repertoire. I play the same stuff a lot of the time. You know, people ask me, they say to me, you know, how do you learn so many tunes or whatever? And I say, I don't. I play the same songs a lot. But that's how you get good at those songs. And I think that that's really important. Actually, it's not good to continually switch songs. You should learn one thing well. That's another guitar tip for the day. Do I play the acoustic? I do. Could you play something on Maiden Voyage? I used to know Dolphin Dance. That is a banger. That song that I just played was Somewhere Over the Rainbow. If you guys like that, please like the stream, subscribe if you're interested in more guitar content. All right, I got a request for Dolphin Dance, Maiden Voyage, because I forgot the... What song is that? Unfortunately, I must take my leave. Keep up the good work. I'll be watching you again next stream. Thank you, Anthony. You demand. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I think I have... happy. This song is hard. What a fitting chord to end that on. God, what a hard tune. Herbie Hancock, Dolphin Dance. Haven't played that in years. Thank you for the request, Tiny Bolts One, my most ardent supporter in this stream. Thank you so much. If you guys like that, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, do all that stuff. I think I'm going to play one of mine now. I'm going to play one of my own original musics, which is on my channel. It's called With You in Mind. Oh, Tiny Bolts, thank you. this song, and I will address that question. Wait, there is no key. Okay, wait, no, there is kind of a key. There is kind of a key. That video I released where I got some displeasure in the comment section may lead you to believe there's no key. But okay, let's see. The melody is super memorable, and the way you guys play it together is a vibe. Thank you, Tiny Bolts. That is definitely one of my best tunes I've ever written. Oh god, I feel like I'm playing horribly today, but whatever. Hey Lance, awesome playing, bro. I was wondering if you could tell us what was the key thing that made you able to play over chord changes? Do you think triads had something to do with it? Okay, so I would say the main thing, Esteban, type in the chat if you're still here. Like the stream if you're still here. I'm about to answer this question. I want to make sure you're here for this question, or for this answer. So the main thing is voice leading, I would say. That is the key, and that is the reason why chord progressions sound the way that they do. So, for example, Esteban, please type in the chat if you're here. I hope you're hearing this. Okay, sweet. So, voice leading. What is voice leading? Does anybody know what voice leading is? So voice leading is, in my rudimentary definition, I'm not a classical musician, so I won't go into that, but it's the notes want to move the least amount, right? So what does that mean? That means that if you have two chords, they want to blend into each other in the least amount of movement. So let's take a 2-5-1 in C. This is D minor 7, G7, and then C major 7, right? Familiar with everybody here. If you want to know why those chords work, you must understand voice leading. So if you play the D, F, and C, and then we're playing shell voicings now, the D, F, and C to the G, F, and B, that works because of voice leading to the C, E, and B. Now, if you take the guts, which is the F and C of the D minor chord, they voice lead down to the F and B of the G7 chord, which means that the 7 and the 3 flip. So the 3 of the 2 chord becomes the 7 of the 5 chord, and the 7 of the 2 chord becomes the 3 of the 5 chord. Does that make sense? So they flip. And you can leave it on B if you want. And so this is the movement of the guts. You can actually hear the chord progression within it just by listening to that. But if you add the bass. So that is the basis of how you're going to be able to play through chord progressions. Because if you lead the voices, if you lead the lines in a way that tells you, oh, I'm hearing these chords, that's when you can hear changes. Esteban, does that make sense? Please send me in the chat if that makes sense, or if you have any extra questions. So the essence of playing changes is to outline the chords. You don't have to do it, you know, that's a little more of an advanced concept, but if you want to nail changes, a lot of it is playing good eighth notes and making sure that you are outlining the changes, which the changes are literally how the chords are changing. That's to my interpretation, right? So that would be the voice leading. So let's take that 2-5. If I go, I hear it in my head. Great, I see that's awesome, and yet that makes sense. All right, I'll take it even one step further for you, Esteban, because you're a loyal viewer of the channel, and I appreciate you being here. So if you want to add any extra changes, how would you do that? Well, you just play the notes in those chords. So you can think in chords, but I mean, I said it in that one video, I stopped thinking in chords, but I mean, I really think in lines. So for example, this little D minor, if you wanted to go, you know, you've played a 2-5-1 before, you go, or, well, gee, how do I get that A flat in there? Well, you just start playing an A flat triad for the first 2 beats of that bar. That was a lame line. You know? So that's what I'll leave you with. If you have any more questions, please feel free to hit me in the chat. And if you like this, please like the stream. Cares about jazz. Play something epic like Master of Puppets. We care about jazz. Good to see you, Jose. Can you play metal? I've never tried. I probably should try, but I just haven't really gotten into that kind of music yet. Esteban right there. The key is a key that you have to mine the metal for. Smelt it and cast the key, definitely. So basically, understanding of harmonic movement is super important. Yeah, I mean, because all those notes are lines. You coming home for Christmas? Yes. Yes, Jose, I will see you this Christmas, my friend. We should hang out, play a couple tunes. Yeah, so I mean, when I'm thinking of a minor chord or like a 2-5-1, you know, let's take this rootless D minor, F, C, and E, right? So I think of those as individual notes leading down. See, that's G7 alt. You know, or it could be, you know, the F could go up. See, I already have so much movement just by thinking like that. Or, all right, Jose, hit me up. Does that make sense, Esteban? So I'm thinking of it like if you have three notes, think of it as a staff, like an F major triad, right? An F major triad, F, A, C. If you just take that right here, F, A, C, and then you make an F, A flat, and B, then you get G, you get G, not, I hate saying it, it's so hard for me to say it. You get G7 flat 9, with a third on the top, just with that, without the root, you know, and then you have G sus, F is also G sus. So if you think of it in lines and how they relate to a bass note, if you even have a bass note, it all works, you know, and if you're just, if you're focused on the guts, I mean, that's how you can play a bunch of random stuff too. You ever hear Keith Jarrett just go out of the key? It's like, you can just voice lead into all these different things. And that means you can play, you know, chromatic sus chords, you can play 2-5-1s in different keys, you can play all the inversions, you can get the Barry Harris thing in there. So basically, if you understand how the chords are moving, which is voice leading, then you can put pretty much anything there, regardless of what is there. Does that make sense? I mean, and as long as you know the melody too, I mean... that was garbage what I just played, but it was something I came up with in the moment. You know? really glad I could help you. Feel free to ask any question at any time. How long have you been playing? 10 years? Wow, that is crazy. You didn't even say that. I remember my first day of playing. But yeah, 10 years. 10 years. 24 now. Started when I was 14. So there you go. 10 years of wasting time. You're a really great dude. Oh, thank you, Niederhofer. I really appreciate that. You demand. I don't know what I should play now. I kind of just feel like playing lines. You guys ever just feel like playing lines? If you follow me on TikTok, you know I love lines. Chega de saudade? Yes, I do. My hybrid picking chops are going away. something gypsy-ish. Man, I don't have the gypsy jazz chops. That's why I'm not doing that, because I don't have the chops. I got the straight ahead jazz chops, I got the free jazz chops, I got the country chops, I got the classical chops. The gypsy chops, I don't know, I don't think I got them. Alright, y'all, I'm feeling a little bit eh. So I might end the stream here. Or if anybody has any last questions to ask me, I'd be happy to answer them. Talk about anything guitar. If you haven't checked out my last video, and if you haven't liked the stream, please do that. I just released a video today. It was awesome. Definitely a good video. Maybe the best I've ever done. Who knows? Who knows? Random 6-year-olds shredding an acoustic larger than them. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's always some random 6-year-old shredding on an acoustic larger than them. So if you have any questions while I do my nails, probably going to wrap up the stream here. What am I listening to recently? You know, anything like that. Otherwise, stream's over. Applications for D minor major 7 chords. Bro, you got to use that as the 1, brother. You got to use that as the 1 chord, right? I mean, because you can... I mean, think of it like this. A D minor major 7 chord is... Okay, albums, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so D minor major 7 chord. You can use that in a bunch of different fashions. The fashion I would say I would use it in is you can use it as a 1 chord, as diminished major 7. Oh yeah, use it as a deceptive cadence. All right, well, guitar's coming back out. Diminished. Dim major, not D major, not D minor major. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So we're gonna use D because I messed up, but. That's just diminished because I can't reach it on this string set, but. So you can use it as a deceptive cadence, which is super cool. Also, I mean, you can just use it as a passing chord, you know. That's kind of sick. I could hear a lo-fi beat over that. But so I would use it as a passing chord or as the 1 chord, as a deceptive cadence. You can also, for that matter, use it's kind of a nice voicing on the guitar. Actually, this is a diminished major 7 chord. In the key of D, it's C sharp 9, that voicing. But if you play like a 2-5-1 to D. Right? So like that's kind of a hack. So yeah, I've been trying to use it as a rootless sharp 9. It's rootless 7 sharp 9. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I literally just there you go. Rootless 7 sharp 9. I covered that right before you said it. You know. It's pretty awesome, man. It's a great sound. I would say use it as a deceptive cadence. I just love the way it voice leads to major 1. Yeah, exactly, of course. I mean, you can hear that a lot in just like not traditional jazz, like jazz of the 50s and 60s. You know, there you go, diminished major 7. That's as Oscar Peterson. Niederhofer. Now we're moving on to the next question. Oh yeah, the Misty chord. Well, that's the chord you asked about, man. Okay, Niederhofer, if you're still here, I will recommend some albums. Recently, I've been getting really into this Bill Frisell album called Gone Just Like a Train. It's with Victor Krauss and Jim Keltner, kind of out there guys. Happy you're still here. Yeah, it's super cool. It's his own compositions, and it's very folky jazz. You know, it definitely makes me think I play too much. So that one's super cool. I really like David Murray. If you can find any David Murray, that is awesome. Specifically the album Home. You know, I have an album named Home too. That's why I laughed. But David Murray Home. That tune Home is really good. All those songs are really great. That's what I've been listening to recently. And then I also found this. This is a compilation of let's see, can you see that? CTI Summer Jazz at the Hollywood Bowl. It's pretty epic. It's the CTI All Stars, so it's got Deodato, Johnny Hammond, Bob James, Ron Carter, Jack DeJohnette, George Benson, Airto, Hank Crawford, Joe Farrell, Stanley Turrentine, Grover Washington Jr., and Freddie Hubbard. Also Hubert Laws, Milt Jackson, Esther Phillips, and then Leonard Feathers, the MC, and also Rick Holmes. It's pretty epic. You know, it's kind of, I don't know why I like this, but I just like hearing like these guys from the 70s play a blues for like 30 minutes. I just think it's awesome. I think they do it really well. I definitely can recommend this if you can find it. This is a pretty rare one. I've never seen it before. That is really good. God, what else have I been listening to? So David Murray, Bill Frisell. I listened to a lot of Miles Smiles for the past couple months. So that's a great record with his second grade quintet. I got a lot of music I need to get to. I think I have a CD here. I think that I need to. Oh no, it's not here. A Bill Evans CD that I need to get to. So that's probably next on my listening list. Try to listen to one album a day. Does that suffice? Music recommendations. I think if nothing else, if you're a guitar player, man, go listen to George Benson just to feel bad about yourself. Just listen to George Benson. Man. George Benson is like. I love George Benson so much. I feel that he just has the best time feel out of any guitar player. Specifically, go listen to Billy's Bounce by George Benson. It's on Giblets or Giblet Gravy or something like that. That is just like the most burning time feel. And I just feel like I'm always trying to replicate that. Like when I'm playing a blues in my head, oh man, the guitar's coming out again. See, I gotta end the stream or else I'm never gonna be able to stop. But when I'm playing a blues, I'm thinking of Benson in my head. When George Benson get into the flow, it rocks. Yes, it does. It's wild. You know? I mean, he's just like, he's got it, and the notes feel so fat. This. Benson song was, it's actually a Charlie Parker song, but it's called Billy's Bounce, Billies, Bounce, Bounce. But god damn, does he just catch a groove on that, you know? And it's Ron Carter on bass, and it's Lewis Nash on drums, and Herbie Hancock is on piano, which is just the absolutely stacked lineup. There's a compilation it's on, it's like compact jazz with like the Gibson guitar headstock, and then there's also, it's on. You should listen to that album. I think it's Giblet Gravy. Is what it's called. You know, it's him on the cover. He's all young. It's a kind of a brownish cover. It's incredible. It's like it's so formative and so tasteful, and like I just feel like Ron's walking is so incredible too. And I mean, I think if I remember correctly, I think the drums in the mix are a little loud, but it's just I learned a lot from that recording. I used to listen to it a lot. I wouldn't really transcribe it, but. The recordings of Benson live go hard even with audio off. So true. So true. Benson is just, I mean, dude, if you don't feel like playing, just like put on George Benson for like 10 minutes. Honestly, another one that you should check out is Ode to a Kudu. Ode to a Kudu is like just so mind-meltingly wonderful. It is a solo take from Live in LA, or Weekend in LA. That is just, oh my God. And it just, It's like it's solo guitar playing like you've never heard it before, and every note is so fat. I honestly wish I could play like that, but I think that. What do you guys think about this? Do you think imitation is good? It makes you grow, or do you think imitation holds you back from being yourself? You know, I'd love to hear what the chat has to say about that one. Anyway, I don't know. Benson. Dude, Benson. Benson is everything. Everything you could ever want. Everything you could ever need is George Benson, man. What else have I listened to that is pretty great? I just got a CD of The Planets, Gustav Holst. That's pretty cool. I love Gustav Holst. You know, that'll be great. I listen to a lot of Monk. But I don't know if you guys know this. If you're a longtime fan of the channel, I no longer have any streaming services. So I live only off of CDs. So here, actually I have a pile of CDs over here I can show you. So these are on my next, this is my up next pile. But I try not to get rid of anything until I've like actually finished it. So this is you know, I got some Chet Baker here. Chet Baker sings, pretty cool. You know, I still haven't gotten to this one. This is my first video about quitting streaming. This is Charlie Hunter, Bing Bing Bing. Here's the Holst I was talking about. You know, it's good stuff. The Kronos Quartet. I was listening to a lot of classical music the past couple months. Speak Like a Child, Herbie Hancock. Banger. Had to have it. Bill Evans live at the Montreux Jazz Festival. Yeah, that's cool. And then here it is. Here's the gun. Like, I just thought this was just a badass cover. You know, Bill is such an interesting guitar player. I feel like every time Chet Baker sings is peak. That is true. It is peak. This is a great album too. Random Abstract. Still haven't gotten to this. If you guys have seen my quitting streaming video, you know this was the one I picked up from home. Had that in my room. You know, you'll know why I quit, but I don't know, man. I'm a music junkie. It's almost better to have less. Anyway, anybody have any questions for me? I can just ramble about stuff. But I feel like I'm stopping to play guitar because I feel like I'm getting worse. I feel like the more I play, the worse I get. I love John Scofield lines is like listening to a good friend talk. John Scofield lines is like listening to a good friend talk. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll have to, you know, I've listened to a little bit of Sco, but not enough to say that I'm a true Sco fan. But he is really incredible, especially at peak Scofield. There's this album live. I listened to it when I was in college, but I don't remember much about it now. So I should probably check that out. There's too much music in the world. There's too much music. There's so much to check out in so little time. You know? Yeah, well. All right, everybody. So I'm thinking about doing daily streams. Let me know if you would like that. And just playing tunes. I feel like it's a good way to keep the chops up. But other than that, check out my new video. You know, leave a like, leave a comment, tell me something you didn't like about it. If you have any extra questions, I'm about to go. You know, I'm trying to return the daily videos. You know, let me know if there's anything you want to see. I do respond to pretty much all comments. So, you know, if you have something you got to say to me, please do. I will see it. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow when I keep this up. Alrighty. See y'all soon. Thanks so much for tuning in. Oh, are you left-handed or is it mirrored? It's mirrored, man. I don't know how to make it not mirrored. I don't know how to make this not mirrored. I'm not left-handed. Because I'm using my phone, so it flips it sometimes. I've been getting that question a lot. Is it possible to like flip it? Oh man, I'm so bad at this. No, I think that's just the way it is, brother. I'm not left-handed, which it makes it confusing, but maybe it draws people in. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I should look that up, but I hate doing the technical thing, man. Like, I mean, doing this whole YouTube channel, it's awesome to be able to do this and, like, share with people and have some more friends online. But, like, at the end, I don't want to be a video editor. I want to be a guitar player. You know, like, I'm editing a lot of video, and I'm mixing and mastering a lot of stuff, which is cool because, you know, that's how I can get it out there and have it sound better and afford it. But, you know, there's so many times where I'm like, dude, I am not like this, yet I have to do this. So anyway, that's just another example of like, whatever. Like, this works, you know. You're here on the stream. And it's the fastest. Like, I can do this at any time. So, I don't know. I just want it to be easy. I want things to be easy. That's all I got to say. That's all I gotta say. I want things to be easy. Well, all right, guys. If you have not liked the stream, please do like the stream. If you have not checked out my new video, we just had a new standard session here at my apartment. I got 10 or 11 new tunes coming at you, a bunch of new shorts. Please go check that out. I'm really trying to get the views up, so I can book some stuff and come see you guys all around the world. So, any other questions, or that might be it. That might be it. And I'll see you all tomorrow for the next practice stream. Man, practicing streams. It's kind of weird to publicize this. All right, later, everybody. Thanks so much. Thanks for everything, Lance. Take care, bro. Yep, see you guys tomorrow. Much appreciated. Have a good one.